We are recording. We are live with my buddy Jason Patton, creator from Fire Department Chronicles. And don't hit me if I'm wrong, Vice President of Fire Department Coffee. How are you, buddy?
Yes, sir. I'm good, brother. How are you, man? How's life?
I'm good. I'm sweating in my attic. I don't have a fancy studio, so my ceiling fan is above head. And pre-show recording, I was listening. It was going zzz. I was like, oh my gosh, I got to turn this off. So I turn it off. The air condition, the trunk lines aren't run all the way over to this side. So by the time the air gets here, it's hot. And so it's just, if you see me pouring sweat, I'm not nervous, bro. I've talked to many people. I'm dying over here. You look comfortable in your studio though, man. I love it.
Yeah, I'm in the basement. So I went on the cool side, man. That works out.
You're in the basement in Florida?
No, I'm actually, so I'm in a townhouse that has 3 stories, but the first floor is like the garage and then my little studio area. And then there's our living room and then the bedrooms on the top. So it's nice.
I was about to say, man, you're old school. Stand up. Let me see those 3/4 boots if you're in a basement in Florida.
Yeah. I actually owned one townhouse that has a basement, but it's built on a ridge. So it doesn't really count as a basement. It's, it's a faux basement. What it really is.
Man, when I was growing up, I grew up in the country in South Carolina, and there was an old man named Steve Huggins, and he had a basement, and we used to go swimming in his basement. You don't need basements in South Carolina. The water table is like 3 inches below the sand.
Yeah,
the basement is flooded all the time.
That doesn't sound good.
Not at all, man. Hey, brother, I want to dive right into it, man. I just want to ask some questions, and you may have answered these on other podcasts and all that, but my people, man, I've had so many people reaching out to me saying, can you get Jason Patton on? Can you get Jason Patton on? And I was like, I don't think they thought I was cool, man. And then by now it's like, hey, look who's coming on. So I'm going to ask all the good questions, brother.
I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, man.
Hey, so real quick. So are you from Florida naturally? I mean, originally?
Yes. So I was actually born and raised in Florida. My fiance and I are I think we're one of 2. There's no one around here is from Florida. We're called, or at least I call us Heaven's Waiting Room. Everyone comes down from like Jersey, New York, stuff like that, and they just come down here. But yeah, man, born and raised, dude. It's all 3 of my brothers and I.
Yeah. Where in Florida are you
from? West Palm Beach to South Florida. I was born in like the Pembroke Pines area, came up to Lake Worth when I was probably like 12, and then pretty much raised there. Now I live in Jupiter. So
not Lake Worth, man. I know a little bit about Lake Worth. I had a buddy on the fire department from Lake Worth. He said it can get pretty gnarly over there.
Dude, Lake Worth, depending on where you are in Lake Worth, it's kind of like the department I work for. That one of their stations there in Lake Worth itself, I want to say they had to end up having to get an Alpha and Bravo ambulance or rescue out of there because they were running like an average of like 28 calls or 30 calls a shift. Like, just getting pounded so bad.
Are they 24, 48 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so those guys probably have off-duty jobs too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
How do you do that, man?
You don't. You just suffer for.
So this isn't about me, but I'm going to talk about you. But I was in the job I was in Charleston, South Carolina as a firefighter.
Okay.
And we were 24, 48. And back then, it's changed a lot since I was on the job. But back then, we didn't really run medical calls. We ran just like serious shooting, stabbings, and entrapments. So we slept most of the time if we didn't have fire. So we got to get up nice and fresh every morning, go to our part-time job. And now those dudes are running their ass off, like you said. They're having to crawl into work half asleep. It's just dangerous.
Are they doing so they're doing medical now?
Dude, yeah. It's a bee stings, you name it, because they're running. I want to say they're running some ALS companies now. I don't know. You always get critics. Somebody will see this and be like, nope, not yet. Only one engine company, like whatever. Like, get out of here with the fucking stats.
Yeah. Going there's a lot of people that push back on the fire EMS being combined. I think it has its ups and downs, obviously, like in Florida, probably the same as what you're describing. We do everything. Like, people talk about truck companies and engine companies and ladder companies and stuff like that. Like, we don't have that here. You do everything, and you have to be ready to do everything at any point in time. And when I first started, we were so understaffed at the time, and just had some like antiquated thought processes when it comes to calls. You would literally finish a fire, come out of the fire, be sitting there for, you know, a couple minutes, you know, EMS call would drop in the city. They'd be like, got to go run that, dude. So you'd show up just reeking of smoke, man. You just like in your bunker gear. It was really bad, dude. So, you know, there are ups and downs to it, but I think it's not a bad thing to have EMS integrated, because a lot of times you can justify funding of good EMS companies when you do it that way. Because we all know when you privatize stuff, man, it becomes a massive issue. So,
dude, I'm listening to everything you said, and this is, I think, why you have such a wonderful following. You were so fun to watch. I was just watching you. And I was hearing what you were saying, dude, but it was just fun watching you. Like, if I were a deaf person, I would have been like, yeah, this guy's knocking it out in the park. He's having fun with this. He's selling it. That is great.
Yeah,
I
definitely don't lack in the animation department.
Yeah, I got some questions about that later, but you're fun to watch. I'm the complete opposite. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, man.
And watching you on stage in a month is going to be fun. Then it's going to be good. So.
Yeah, we'll have a blast at FDIC. I'll pull you behind the black curtain if you want to come out and do some time. Put you up for 5 minutes.
I just thought about introducing you, just walking out and introducing you. And,
yeah, you have to fight Chief. You have to fight Chief Lasky for that.
Oh, really?
He's a host every year, man. He doesn't let anybody get in that shit. No, man.
Smart man.
Jason, how long have you been on the job, man? I know like 14, 15 years, somewhere in there.
13 years. I've been at my current job. I've been in the field for 15 now. Jumped in after being a mechanic. I did that just because literally the day I turned 18 years old, I became a mechanic. My father.
Let me see those hands.
You got yeah. Oh no, I got the calluses. Yeah, I got the calluses.
You can still grab a wrench if you need.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I jumped into it, man. It was a good experience. I quickly found out that I was not a mechanic. I am like atrocious at being a mechanic. It's so bad. Because I like to be like an incredible mechanic, you have to have a patience level that is well beyond what I have. I like fast. Let's go. That's kind of what firefighting and EMS is in general. But yeah, dude, it was I got introduced to being a EMT school at 21, I believe, or 22. Went and checked it out, fell in love with it, man, loved it. And then went to EMT paramedic, and then actually went to fire school. And fire was just something like speaks to your soul, dude. Like, you just something about the smells and everything. And like, I'm not a huge fan of paramilitary stuff, but I think it's awesome, the fire service, because it was just so cool to see the difference. You know what I mean?
I could see you being a mechanic and somebody bringing their car that's broke down and you're just laughing, making a big joke out of it. And here's your bill, $5,000.
Dude, I would, you know, and I was the worst kind of mechanic because I hated engineers. Like, I watch TikToks now and people are like, you effing engineer. And I'm like, I get it, bro. I get it, dude. At one point in time, I was, you know, because we had to change oils as well, trying to change this oil filter. And I don't know who the hell designed this car. It was, I forget what it was, a Chevy something, man, but I was so mad because they put the oil filter. Yeah, it was above the exhaust manifold, or next to the exhaust manifold, and just above the CV axle. So it's in between the two hottest things. Freaking play. Yeah. And everyone goes for their Sunday drive right before they come here. So I'm like trying to get this off, and I'm burning my hands. And I was like, fuck, and threw my oil wrench. And about 10 minutes later, I feel this, like, I'm going to type something on the computer, and I feel this like thin mist of water. I'm like, what's that? When I threw that, I busted the main water pipe for that building. And needless to say, my general manager was not very happy with
it. You got a romantic mist for your report there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a romantic write-up is what that was.
My uncle, man. So my family is mechanics, and I get it, man. I hate turning wrenches. I can do anything, man. But like when it comes to like manual labor, physical stuff, building, I grew up doing that stuff. But mechanics, you can have it, dude. Because same thing, man. You'll get your hand stuck in somewhere, dude, and it's just burning hot. I have I want to farm, so I'm on my tractor a lot, and sometimes you got to do the basic repairs, and then it just fucking drives me nuts when I have to do anything. I'm like, oh, I just go buy a new one,
bro. I tell you, and like I won't change my own oil now. People are like, why? I'm like, because it saves me $8. Like, I'll pay someone $8 to do that stuff.
You know, that's it. My dad tells me that all the time. He's like, boy, you know how to change oil. I said, Dad, it saves me literally a Subway foot-long sandwich. I'd rather just not deal with it in the
100%.
cookies.
100%.
So where you are now, I know a lot of Florida, you guys run a lot of ALS and stuff. Is it mandatory to be a medic in your department, or was that voluntarily for you?
No, when I got hired, so as I was going through schooling, they kind of talked about it. They were like, you need to get your medic if you're going to try to apply. And then as I got hired in 2008. It was literally in the middle of the hiring freeze, so I got really lucky. But you had a few departments that were still hiring EMTs, but it started to become like, you got hired as EMT, you had to have your medic within 3 years and be signed off, that kind of thing. Now it's just like, you either have your medic or you're not getting hired. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, and that's Florida, like that's what you're gonna get. But I go to other states where they're like, we don't run any medical calls. I'm like, that's awesome. What are you getting paid? And they're like, yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah,
about
like
that.
yeah. I tell you, it's such a double-edged sword for me, because I love the medical side for the real calls, like the calls you show up and you're like, we got to fix this, man. We're throwing like chest seals on them or working cardiac arrest and getting them back. I'm like, this is what I got in this for,
That's the shit.
And then, yeah, the shit. Yeah, I love it, man. And the same thing with fires. Like, I love a good fire. I don't want to see people's stuff get destroyed, but a good abandoned warehouse fire. Love them.
But if it's somebody's shit's going to get destroyed, you want to be the guy to help them. I get it. We all are.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish B shift were here to cover this shit. This is maybe for the rolling up the hose or something, but nah.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, like, we've had some incredible saves. We've had people getting pulled out of buildings. Now we've had awesome stops. Like, that's the stuff you sign up for. So I like both sides of the game, and I think it's awesome. I wouldn't want to do just one. I mean, I love being able to do both. It's fun for me.
That's good to know that the hiring requirements are so tough in Florida. Let me tell you what it's like in South Carolina. If you come to get a job, they go like, they just put two fingers right here. If they feel your skin pushing against your fingers,
you good?
Job. Dude, I could tell you horror stories about when I got hired. I mean, I walked on, there was literally, that's how it was. The chief shuts the door and he's like, what certifications do you have? And I'm all proud. I hand over a stack from the South Carolina Fire Academy, because I initially came from a smaller department. And when I came to the city of Charleston, he pulled out like my hazmat ops, my firefighter 1, my firefighter 2, and basic first responder. And he took the other stuff literally and set it off to the side. He's like, you don't even need that other shit here. Jeez. I was like, damn, he called it shit. That's how it was, dude. Bro. That was your interview, and it's like, all right, you're hired.
So funny, man. But what's like, that's, we call it old school, bro, but that's the way most firefighting stuff is. I mean, most departments that I go to, most places that I go speak at, are volunteer departments, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bunch of volleys that come together, or that's career, obviously, but yeah, we love people that show up with certifications and stuff, and it's good. But for the most part, yeah, it takes a while. You need to be able to either promote within the department for that stuff to matter, so on and so forth. So that's hysterical. I think that's above some places that I've been to.
That interview process alone made me want to just take any accolade I've ever received and just wipe my ass with it. I'm just like, nobody wants to see this. See this poster behind me? Let me just tear that down. Nobody cares about that.
But which is sad, man, because it's like, you would think, I mean, and again, if you go to a high career department or something like that, you go to like, especially where they have all those things, hazmat techs and stuff like that. You want that, and you want guys walking in that are driven and ready to go. Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It shows you the gamut.
Charleston actually has a written test now.
Do they?
Yes. And I actually, before I left in 2010, I actually sat on the hiring committee when they really started hiring the correct way, when the good old boy system got out of there and they started hiring. I was actually on the hiring board, and we had people coming in, but all you had to do is look at I shouldn't say this, but we knew who we were going to hire. You just look down at your phone, and Joe John or whoever the hell would text you like, hey, my cousin's coming through your group. Make sure you got it. Don't worry about it. So everybody that flew down here from Michigan and passed the test and did the physical, and they fucking bought hotels. They come down for the interview, and we're sitting there like, oh, you wasted your time. It's still a good old boy, but it's not like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think the good old boy system could work to a point. Someone who has been raised by their dad or their uncle or whatever, and they have done nothing but eat, sleep, and crap firefighting. They know everything about it. You know, that
Family
makes
line
sense.
of duty death or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a drive to it, but not that thing where, like, you know, they talk about that where the rookie's there and they're like, my dad's the chief, I don't got to do shit. Like, okay, like that.
Dude, we had some guys getting off the penitentiary bus, like getting out on parole, and it's like, hey, my cousin texts you. I'm like, yeah, we got it. You good?
Jeez, no way.
No, I'm kidding.
No,
It wasn't that bad.
no, my department's done an incredible job as well. The hiring process was good when I got hired, but lately it's just off the chain, man. I love it, dude. They're like very stringent. When you sign that piece of paper, you give them all your Facebook stuff, all your social media. They go through it. Like I love it, dude. Which obviously that's great. A bit of a
I couldn't imagine you coming onto a job somewhere else and somebody not know you. I don't know how anybody wouldn't know you, but they would be like, man, y'all seen this guy's social media?
I say I want to interview somewhere one time, but like just when I retire, I just want to go just to see if when I walk in there, they'll be like, no, get out.
Fuck off. Yeah. So, dude, you seem pretty fired up, man, and especially like, so I was listening to what you were saying about you love the fire part, you love the paramedic part, but let me throw you a curveball. If you had your choice, you're going to the house today, would you prefer being on the nozzle, being a roof guy on a really good working fire, or that medical call that you just live to be on? If you could only choose one.
Nozzle, man, all day.
All day?
Nozzle.
Yeah, still. All right, so it's in your blood. Good. If you said paramedic, I was about to hit end record. I got the wrong guy.
We got disconnected.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened, man. Fuck South Carolina, but my damn signal here. I was a ladder guy, man, so I like ladder. So we always, bust balls. I was on nozzle for a little while, but we always bust balls about what's better. I actually tell some jokes at FDIC about that. That's
fun. We actually, as jacked as it is, it's 90% of the departments in South Florida, they don't do ladder roof operations. Really? They don't do anything like that. Yeah. There's just no point of it down here. I've never seen it. I know there are some departments that do it. So people that are listening to South Florida, they'll be like, "We do it!" Like, all right, I know some departments do
Somebody's
it.
Somebody's gonna blow you up, man.
Oh, hell yeah!
Don't discount us.
We still do it. Like, all right, whatever. But and I think roof operations can definitely have some incredible benefits to it. But it just, like, there's a very thin line between cowboy style stupid shit and good roof operations, and it's just I just see this stuff all the time where, like, literally half the roof is gone and they're up there and cutting the roof. I'm like, why? I believe that is called self-venting. So, like, what are you doing?
I believe you're about to be in an oven, mister. Yeah. I remember sometimes being up on those roofs, man, and when I got my first taste of it, because I thought the nozzle was where it's at, but when you get on a roof and that fire comes through and blows past your face and you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is amazing. Yeah. But it's crazy dangerous, dude. It's crazy. Yeah. But look, man, like I said, when I initially spoke to you about doing this podcast, we obviously we knew we were going to have some fun, but we're going to have some serious conversation too. And that serious conversation, we're both mental health advocates, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that's really huge in today's fire service. And when we were talking the other day, I know you know this, but a lot of people don't know this. For almost a decade now, suicides have surpassed line of duty deaths, and that's only really because we've recently started paying attention to it. So you got to think, even decades before us, it was still like that. Now, the military, they had the big spotlight on the military. But I think, and I talk about this in my podcast all the time, I think it's worse in the emergency services just because our combat zone is where we live. It's where we operate. It's where we raise our families. When the military, like I never say, like, I'm not trying to take anything from them, but when they go to the hot zones overseas, they come home and they have to deal with their triggers, but they're at least out of the hot zone and they can deal with those, not taking anything with them. We don't get to leave these hot zones. We're constantly stuck in it, and we have to raise our families and thrive in that environment, man. And like you said, this tough guy shit, because I know I was raised in the old school, real old school, and this isn't story time with Travis right now, but you weren't really allowed to show emotion and you weren't allowed to talk about your feelings after calls. And that's what I know I do when I tour speaking. And I know that's what you do now and show everybody it's okay. I get up there and I open up about all kinds of stuff. And I tell them, I was like, you know what happened? Nothing happened. I actually feel better. And if you think I'm a pussy for it, then whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
You gave the Spartan reference the other day and I wrote that down if you want to kind of expand on that.
Yeah. No, I when I do my speech, How to Hug 101 is the name of it. We just bring it down to a real basic way of thinking when it comes to expressing your emotions, so on and so forth. Like you said, people think like they are like firmly grasped on the thought process that if you express your emotions, you immediately are less of a man or less of a human or whatever, which is crazy because that's not the way anybody has worked. But you know, I say like whenever I say to people like, you know, like what are you comparing yourself to? Like what warrior? Like the Spartans? Like the Spartans didn't do that, man. They just fought, fucked, and fell asleep, and that was it. Just fuck, fell asleep. That was it. I'm like, okay, like that's a little crazy. But
there's no crying.
Yeah, there's no crying.
You're crying and fucking.
If you're crying and fucking, that's a problem. But you know, no, but that's not true, right? Like you look at any like civilization prior to us, they had mental health stuff. They just didn't call it the same thing, right? Like Indians, they would after war or after like traumatic times, you know, stuff like that, they would come back and they would put them in a sauna. And they would have them talk to the shamans or whoever they were speaking to, and they would talk about the things that they saw in war or whatever that traumatic moment was. And in this sauna, their emotions and their demons and their bad thought processes were said to evaporate off of the steaming rocks. Like they would talk about these things. They just did it differently, right? You had to add steam because that made it more manly, right? I think that's the way that must have
worked. So I'm in a sauna right now with that fucking AC, like we talked about. That's Chief Jason here talking it out of me. No, but you're right. Go, keep going, man. I'm sorry, I had to throw that.
No. But that's just, you know, the Greeks talk about Vestal virgins and stuff, and you know, and they even like if you research some of this stuff, they talk about how these you know, the elders and stuff, when they would come back, they would talk to these guys and they would be like, you need to find peace or talk about what happened in war before you can actually integrate yourself back into society. Because I think that's what happens with and I agree with you about first responders constantly being, because, you know, we joke, we drive down the street, we're like, yeah, Mike over there. We saw a guy with his head missing right there. You know, like, so you're constantly relieving these things. Everywhere. But I think what happens with the military is they go to a place where they are seated in 60 dudes that all know they can get killed tomorrow. 60 guys and girls. They can all get killed tomorrow. So they create this really fucked, dark sense of humor, like just shit. And then when they go back to society, can't say that anymore, man. So now they're like,
fuck your dead baby doesn't work anymore.
Yeah. So now they're like trying to figure out like, where's my sense of humor? Who am I? You know, so on and so forth. And they don't like integrate them. They just go drop them in and be like, good luck.
These guys are just stopping parties and shit, and everybody's like, all right, I'm out of here. Fucking see you later.
Yeah.
Standing there by themselves. What the fuck?
Yeah. So I mean, dude, this is so mental health in general it's so multifaceted. It's just so multi-level that you're like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, it's crazy because statistically, I don't know the numbers. I've heard them over the years. But it's always changing. There's a huge percentage of first responders that are military, that are veterans. And
yeah.
Also, there's a huge percentage of first responders who went through some kind of personal trauma in their life, whether it be sexual trauma, emotional trauma, physical trauma, or traumatic exposure from, you know, horrific events. And you talk about that. I saw in one of your videos how you are connected to suicide. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So I've actually had a few people in my life commit suicide, but the one that was closest was my father's good friend. And this guy was, you know, normal, typical guy. He actually got on a medication. I want to say it's Paxil, but I'm not sure if that's it or not. But he got on an antidepressant medication that very quickly after this guy committed suicide, it came out that this was actually raising people's suicidal ideations and stuff like that. So, but unfortunately killed himself in the shower. And you know, there was a huge rip to my father. My dad is his like best friend. He's like, what are you doing? You could have come to me and talked to me. So just what really bothered me was watching his family. I mean, they are now, you know, 3 very, very well-adjusted humans and have amazing jobs and like just 3 incredible people. But for them to make it through that tragedy and still end up where they are was incredible. But I remember talking to the son. And the son was like, yeah, my daddy was cleaning his gun and it went off. And it was like, man, like how do you even process that? So it's just crazy, man. I know I've struggled with my own stuff, and it wasn't until I struggled with my own stuff that I had a moment, dude. And I remember I was sitting on the edge of my bed and I was like, this is how it happens, bro. It's this fast. Like, you're just like, you make a decision and that's it.
You just gave me chills because I've been there too. And we talked about this on the phone the other day. I had a friend, one of my best friends, his father killed himself, but his father actually shot every member of the family before he did that. And I was 10 years old, and these people that I went camping with. So I was exposed to that at an early age too. And it's kind of, you think about, you're like, what makes a man do that? And then you don't realize it later until you're in that position. You've been in that position, and I've been in that position multiple times. And you sit there and you think, man, this is scary because this is where I'm at in life right now. That's a weight that gets so heavy. You can't explain it and nobody else can explain it. And I talk about the coward myth, how when you hear people say only cowards commit suicide, I used to think that until I felt it. Yeah. And now I understand it. It's like, it has nothing to do with being a coward. It has to do everything to do with that weight that's dragging you down, and you do not know how to let that weight go. And you just want to take a break. That's all it is. And
that's all it is.
And you're too proud to go talk to somebody like, hey, Jason, man, this is what I'm thinking. I'm having these horrible thoughts. I'd rather actually check out than come to you and ask for help. Because what would Jason think about me if I did that?
Yeah. And that's what they're like, what would Jason think? And I tell people all the time, I'm like, I'm a humorous guy. I'm like high energy. I'm joking around all the time. And if I had not opened my mouth about any of this stuff, no one would have ever known. But, you never know when you go to someone, you're like, yo, I've been struggling with this for a while. And the guy's like, yeah, me too, bro. But this is what I did to get through it. Again, I try to truly get through to people. And there's a quote, and I can't think of the name, I can't think how it goes right now, but essentially it's that some people's entire lives are predicated on making others feel shitty. And, that is such a huge self-reflection. When that person goes on Facebook and comments that really crappy negative thing, that's not a reflection on what my video was or someone's picture was. It's a self-reflection. Like, you gotta feel shitty because I don't feel good,
That's it.
And I think that's it, man. When people are unwilling to, like, hey, we had a rookie saw his first dead body the other day, right? He needed to go in and see this because he needs to see it because it's going to be his career, but we're not forcing his hand in or anything. But hey, you want to come in and see it? Yeah. Sees it after.
Look at it. Look
yeah. Smell it. So, but I'm like, you got to see it. So he sees it. And after, I'm like, you good? And he's like, yeah. He goes, it was weird touching, because, you needed to check for a pulse. And he's like, it was weird touching them and they were cold and stiff. And I was like, dude, 100%, but that's normal to feel that way. That is it, man.
That's all it is.
Yeah. That's a normal thought process.
And that's all it takes. Where back in the day, you wouldn't have even said that. It would have been straight to breaking balls.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
We had a cop go in. We had this guy, 2 dogs ate the man because he died in the apartment. He was in there for 2 weeks and 2 dogs ate him. So we sent the rookie police officer in there, and we took back during Polaroids, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have to fucking go in there, but we're like, we got to do a 360 of the Polaroids and all that shit. Maggots were all over his dude. He's vomiting, and we're just like, you fucking pussy. You can't even say a dead body. And we're saying this from the yard, mind you. And while he's in there, we're calling him.
Yeah.
And,
oh my God.
But instead of like, hey man, let's go in there together. Let's work on this. That's just how it was. It was just breaking balls.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between breaking balls and piling on. And
you're
right.
Yeah. No. And I think that's it, man. It's like, for some reason, and I think it's, I don't want to say generational, but I think it's just something that we do in this field, because I love breaking balls. I love it. It's a part of it, but you also need to be like, I think it's one of the best parts of the job, but you also need to be a competent human to understand where that line is, and saying, like, because again, you, at the beginning of someone's career, you're going to give them 2 choices. So if you call them a bitch for, the dead body, that's, half the body's missing because it was eaten by dogs, which is totally fucked. Let's just start there. Like, and this dude's like, yo, that was really messed up, and you're like, you're right. That was messed up. Like, what are you thinking? Because now in his brain, he's created a little box that says, that's normal. It's normal to think that is not normal. That's messed up. Or you're like, this is what we do for a living, period. You either accept that shit or you move on. Now they're like, okay, I got to shove this down and drown it out with a little bit of vodka and they create a whole different thing. So you make the choice.
That's exactly what you said. So, and the reason I was like, I killed a guy on duty one night, right? I don't say that pridefully. It's fucking one of the worst things that ever happened to me. And what happened afterwards was a reflection of the culture that I grew up in. When I came back into the house, nobody pulled me aside and said, "Hey, bro, you good? Like, you want to talk?" The first thing he did is they started piling on. That wasn't busting balls. They started piling on. They started making fun of me. Here I am, 22 years old. I just killed a guy as a fireman. Fireman, we don't do that. You know what I mean? But I won't get into it. But the long story, the short story is I killed a guy. Everything I did on this scene led to his death. And as a fireman, we show up to help people, not to hurt them. And the mistakes that I made caused that man his life, and I can never get that back. So in doing so, when firefighters pile on, I got two choices. I can press the fuck on and bury it, let them know it bothers me. And when I do that, what do you think happens? They eat you alive.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had to suppress that for many years, and more of that shit came. But that's why when I speak now, I talk about changing that culture. There's nothing wrong with having a little fun with a guy, but goddamn, as if like this job isn't hard enough. I like to talk about and bring this up, and I don't know if you want to expand on this or anything, but the job is hard enough, right? And we bring our problems from home to the job, our problems from the job home. And I like to talk about parenting with post-traumatic stress after the diagnosis. Once you know you're pretty fucked up and you have some problems, parenting and being in a relationship with post-traumatic stress and all the symptoms associated with it, it's a very difficult thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I remember watching your video and you were talking about, you were a father reflecting on what it must be like for those kids. Right. But I've been in that situation where I've had those horrible, horrible thoughts, and I have children and I have to make everybody here happy. I'm married. How do I take care of my family? And we suck at communication. We're horrible communicators.
Yeah.
You want to expand on any of that?
No, I think it's there's a lot of levels to that. One of them is, you feel like you need to be strong for your spouse, to give them a strong place. You don't, again, that's the whole man thing. Like, I got to be the strongest one in there. What if I express my feelings? My wife thinks I'm a bitch. And, I tell you, like, this is the thought process guys have. If I express my feelings, my wife's gonna think I'm a bitch. She's going to go find a stronger man emotionally, have sex with him. Like, that's like the way guys minds go, at least. So
a guy with a beard.
A guy with a beard, like in a hot attic. So no, and then and you don't want your children to perceive you as a weak person because you need to be the strong, father figure, all that fun stuff. But what I found is that the strongest people that I've ever met in my life, and I mean from as young as I can remember to now, are people that are willing to express the gamut of their emotions. They're willing to express extreme happiness, extreme anger, sadness, say when they're the big V word, vulnerable, like, dude, I'm having a shitty day. I love that, man, because a person that is willing to express themselves at their shittiest is a truthful human that is willing to express everything else, right? You can trust things that are coming out of their mouth. So, as a father, if as a dad or as a spouse, whatever, if you're willing to express what's going on, it does nothing but make your relationship stronger. Because just like we said, if I knew that you had already been through something and I was willing to come to you and be like, yo, man, I'm going on with, like, this is what's going on. So I open up, you open up. I mean, those are two openings that come together. And now we make a stronger relationship between us as friends. I mean, imagine what that does with your spouse. You go to your spouse like, yo, I'm having a bad day. And she opens up, you open up, and now you guys form a stronger thing versus I got to be tough. She's
now
like,
you're crying together during sex. It's great.
Yeah, now you're crying during sex. She's trying to figure out, is it me? And you're like, no, it's me. And then, now you're divorced. Congratulations.
So I did the tough guy thing, right? And I know a lot of, and the reason I speak openly about this is because I know that it helps, because when I do speak about it, I hear back from people, and I went about it the wrong way, and I'm trying to prevent other people from doing that. I was going through all the shit I was going through, and before I got married, and I actually drug all of that into my marriage. I buried it, I hid it, I locked it away. She didn't sign up for this. And then when my kids were born, they didn't sign up for this. And I wasn't the best father, the best husband, you know, that I could be. And I have a lot of regrets about that. I can't do anything about it. But what I did learn is once I said, you know what, I'm still a man. I'm still a very strong, competent man. I can talk about what I'm going through. And it's not going to change the fact that I'm still a strong, competent man. You know what it did?
No.
It made me fucking stronger.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm a better father and better husband for it. And that's why I urge these gentlemen, these ladies in our profession that go through this, like, hey, put your bullshit pride to the side. It doesn't mean anything. Pride kills. That's all it does. And open up and communicate. And you'd be surprised at the change in the relationships you can have with human beings.
Dude, 100%. Because, bro, people only want to express things that they're comfortable with. Again, extreme anger, extreme happiness, right? They're like extremely angry at this guy, then they punch him in the face. Now they're extremely happy. Like it's like, you know, they're only comfortable with those things. Yeah. But not everything in between, bro. The normal emotions that you go through, accepting normal thought processes is the best thing in the world. Look at people that are the most miserable. And you can just tell, you're like, bro, what's going on, man? They're fighting the shit that's in them. Like, I gotta be happy all the time. And then they fucking kill somebody. Like, you know, it's like, and you're right, man. The number one complaint that I hear from spouses when they're, because I work with Banyan treatment centers, the number one thing that I hear from the wives and husbands of the people coming in is they won't talk to me. And I'm like, and I go to the wife or husband, I'm like, why aren't you talking to them? I don't want to put that on them. If I put it on them, bro, what's going to happen? Nothing. They're going to say nothing. They're going to go, holy shit, thank you for talking to me about that. You guys are going to talk, cry, probably have sex, and then it's going to be great. Like, you know, like all the good things.
Now I understand why you're the way you are. I talk about, I don't want to get into it, but I say we're our own enemy. What we do is we try to protect them from not communicating. And all we do inevitably is we drive a fucking wedge into our own relationship. We have the wedge and we're fucking hammering it in there because I'm trying to protect you from this bullshit. You know,
100%. Like all you're protecting them from is a solid relationship with you.
Is your vulnerability.
You know? Yeah. That's it. And I tell people, just give them the option. I can talk to my fiance about anything. She doesn't care. Like, she's good with everything. I can't show her pictures. She don't want to show her pictures.
You keep that shit to yourself, Jason.
Yeah, not that I'm taking pictures on scenes or anything, but like, you know, you go on like Savage Paramedics and they got like hands missing. I'm like, look, and she's like, eh. So, but
I give
them, but give them the option. Hey, babe, you know, either way, guy or girl, you know, hey, babe, I want to be able to talk to you about the stuff that goes on at work. Like, and she's like, cool, talk to me about everything. Or talk to me about everything except for dead kids. I can't deal with dead kids. Perfect. You know, like I haven't told her this, but I made the joke about the fireworks stuff. We had a guy on 4th of July, bought a commercial mortar and didn't know it was a commercial mortar.
It already sounds
fun, bro. He leaned over to check it because it didn't go off.
No,
I mean, it looked like he swallowed a grenade. And I mean, he was completely decapitated in front of his entire family. Like, what the? I tell you, death is not the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen people cut in half. You know, I've seen tons of people shot dead. People run over their foreheads touching their belly buttons. Like, that never bothers me. It's like, that's messed up. My brain is not processing that right now. It's human suffering. It's the family members. It's everyone around, because you immediately emotionally connect with them because they're vulnerable in that moment. And you're like, I want to fix this. So, like, it's insanity.
That's what always bothered me. It wasn't so much the scenes. It's like when you're on scene and family's on scene and they're losing their shit and then you're just inside, you're dying with them. You're like,
yeah,
fuck, you know, how do I hold this shit together?
Yes. You know? Yes. I worked a cardiac arrest, one of my first cardiac arrests, and the guy died. It was unfortunate. He was an older gentleman, but I walked out to the family and I was like, I'm really sorry for your loss. And they lost their shit on me. They were like, fuck you, you killed him. And I'm like, and that was it. I just walked out. So, like, you know, I wasn't mad at them. They were suffering suffering in the moment, but I wanted to just make them feel better, like whatever I could do in the moment. So it's human suffering, I think, because as humans, we want to make other people feel better,
I agree 100%, man. And I just urge these folks to talk about some of the things. You don't have to give away the gory details. You don't have to do that. But so I fucked up a perfectly good day. I used a scenario in my class that I teach, right? And it goes back to what you were saying earlier. My wife walked outside. We were having a fine day, but I was grilling chicken and the chicken was stuck on the grill and I was mad, and she could tell like something was wrong. She's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I just kept, because I'm in a different place. And I'm trying to get this chicken off the grill. And she's like, "What I do now?" See, so she immediately associated that with something she did wrong, and she didn't do anything. And of course I flip out, and I didn't use the right tone. I was like, "You didn't do anything, just go." And she went. But what I was thinking about was, I was on a body recovery team of Charleston 9, and Louis Mulkey was one of my best friends on the job. And when I was grilling that chicken, I was thinking about his face sticking to the grill. Like, and those are the thoughts I'm having. And I'm like, how do you convey those thoughts to your loved one? So what I should have done is, you don't have to say that. Just say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. Like, this reminds me of a scene I was on." That's all I could have done. And it would have taken that load off her, because the rest of our night was fucked up. Because I wouldn't go in there and be like, "Hey, look, I'm sorry, I was in a bed," but what's wrong with doing that?
It's hard, man. Yeah, it's hard. Because again, this isn't something that we teach ourselves. My daughter is the best example of this. She's 5 years old. If she can't get two Legos together, she's like, "Fuck, these Legos." I mean, she doesn't say fuck, but she's like, "These freaking Legos." And I'm like, "Oh, all right."
I'd love to see her walk by and just throw them right now.
But I mean, like, when she's sad, when she scrapes her knees, she's sad. When she hurts herself, she's sad, or she expresses her feelings. And she will do that until society tells her, like, "No, you can't do that. You got to push that stuff down." Like, so that's what happens, is that we're told that we don't have a choice. Look, should you be crying on scenes? No, you should not be crying on scenes. Like,
everybody's showing up just crying.
No, like, his leg's broken. Why are you crying? Like
he's not gonna make it.
Like, he's gonna make it. Stop crying. We shouldn't be crying on scenes, but we should be okay with like expressing emotions later. Like that's what should be happening. But it's humans in general, for some reason, it is either all or none. Like, moderation is something we can't find. There's another quote that at the end of my thing I talk about. It's "You will find excess in moderation," and I think it's amazing. It's the best quote in the world because it's the truth. You'll find excess health by moderating your eating habits. You'll find excess health by having moderate exercising. Like all of this stuff. Like, if you just find a 50% in life, dude, you'll be the happiest you've ever been.
Hardest thing in the world for me is find balance in anything.
And I think
all or nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's because that's the way people say shit. It's like, "Are you dedicated or not?" Like, to what? Like, what am I dedicated to?
I'll beat a pussy and do 1,000 push-ups. Like, 900 ain't good enough. Like, come on.
No. Listen, if you don't have rhabdo, then you're not putting it in. Like, all right, psychopath. Yeah, I get it.
Well, bro, I think we covered all the points in that mental health, man. It's like, I don't want to run it into the ground. I got to talk to you about Fire Department Chronicles. Everybody does it. It's a beautiful thing. I've been watching it for a long time, dude. Before I knew who you were, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He is way too heavy." So then I started Googling a long time ago. And it was funny is when you start Googling Fire Department Chronicles, one of the first thing that pops up is the Fire Department Chronicles guy real?
Yeah.
Have you ever Googled it, dude? It's fucking hilarious. And then it shows your name and it's like, is he real? It's like all these people are trying to figure this shit out. But dude, it's the best because you hit it on the head. I mean, you can tell that everything you put into it, it's just spot on, dude. And I can't tip my hat enough to you, man. How did you get that started? What gave you the idea to start getting going, and like what gave you the motivation to continue?
It was, pretty much the same stuff that everyone else does. The only difference is I didn't put my department in it immediately. You'll never see my department in any of the videos or anything like that. But just same stuff that a lot of guys do. We were messing around the station. Everyone was, we originally started with Fire Department Chronicles, National Geographic's Fire Department Edition, which was fun. And then I got a cease and desist letter from them. and stopped doing that. But they were actually really cool about the whole thing. But we started filming the videos, and hunting for the battalion chief was the first one. And, you know, the bigger their belly, the more gnarly they are, kind of thing. And then the one that kind of like notched it up, where I was like, oh, people like this, was we were hunting for the paramedic via their natural mating call, which was bitching. And that was like, loved it, man. Like, everyone was like, this is awesome. So we like got a bunch of shares on that. It was just super cool, dude. And then it's just evolved to now a YouTube channel and TikToks and all the fun stuff. So it's just been very cool.
It's amazing, dude. And I can imagine, like, so with me, my stand-up career was very therapeutic for me, because laughter is the best medicine. And I can imagine how therapeutic making these videos must be for you. Granted, it must be a pain in the ass sometimes, but I can imagine how fulfilling that must be, making those videos. And so many people that you're speaking our language, the first responders language, and you got speaking to a direct audience, right?
Oh yeah.
And they're just fucking eating it up. That's amazing, dude. Like, my decompression is comedy. Then it was the gym. But now, like, I'm older now and I got National Geographic titties, right? and now it's my farm. So I'm like an old man. Is that part of your decompression? Like, is making your videos, and like, what else do you do?
Yeah, I mean, I got that. I do the videos. I love making them, writing scripts and stuff like that. I love and just seeing this stuff, you know, from start to finish coming together. But gym, dude, love it. I got a gym in my garage now. I love doing that. And then honestly, man, just doing stuff like this, dude. I love podcasts. I love talking to people. I just in general being around my brothers and sisters. And the best part is that I'm still in the job, so I get that cool 24 hours on shift with my boys, and we hang out and laugh. I mean, I never laughed harder than sitting around the dinner room table, you know, just everyone busting each other's balls, talking about calls, talking about dudes that freaked out. Like you'll never laugh harder in those moments, man. I love it.
You can't beat it. And that's that environment. Like, you know, the thing I like about firemen, I don't know any of the dudes you work with, but I could meet them next week on vacation somewhere, and we could start a conversation, and I feel like I've fucking known them forever.
100%.
Everywhere we get to travel, and you can't explain that to people that are not in our profession. They don't get it.
No.
I love it. So I always say, like, people like us, we always stick together. And like, I don't hang around a lot of bankers, lawyers, and doctors and shit. One, because I'm just too trashy. Two, firefighters, cops, and military are my people, man. We talk a different language. And if you don't understand that language, it's kind of like, there's no point in having a conversation, because it's a showstopper.
Yep. 100%, man. And I've said that from day one, is it doesn't matter where you go. It doesn't matter what country you're in. I get comments all the time in different languages, and hit the little Google Translate, and it's like, it's the same here. Like, they all like,
same here.
We're
talking about balls over here too.
Yeah. Like, yo, farts are funny here in Germany. Like, I bet. So, like, it's incredible, man. It's the greatest thing in the world. The brotherhood is tight, and you know, obviously, brothers involve sisters, you know, all that fun stuff, dude. I think anyone who has a problem with females in the fire service is they're antiquated. That's back, you know, like, women all the women that we've hired in my department, man, they're just as strong and educated as I am. So I think it's awesome, man.
I have an episode on the podcast. It's just female first responders in the business. And I talk about that and how wonderful it is having them, and that old school mentality. When I first started, it wasn't like that at all. And I look back on, you know, the way that I was brought up, and I was like, shit, that was just wrong. You know, because I've been on calls where, man, if you didn't have a female, I don't know how we would have done this, because their communication is fucking money. The way that they're able to communicate to people, because we're like cavemen sometimes.
Yeah.
And especially when I was a cop, these women, they would de-escalate situations where it would have went bad if I would have just opened my mouth doing anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tip my hat to them.
100%, man. And like, the girls that I've worked with are the same as the guys. They walk in, same jokes. Yeah, I mean, you got to be respectful to a point, just because you don't want to be a piece of shit. But I mean, it's like they'll joke along with it the same way. I love it, man. I've some of my favorite coworkers are females, so it's awesome to me.
I always liked when the females would come in and you don't know them yet, so everybody's just kind of quiet and they're kind of like, all right, be like, and you're just kind of like waiting, because we're a bunch of fucking animals, and it's like, all right, what? And then she comes in and just does one of the biggest, gnarliest, just somethings, whatever it is, and it's like, all right, we're good, we're good.
Yeah, like walks in, what's up, bitches? Like,
Yeah.
what's up?
Comes in, cuts a big old fart or something. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Just like, all right, good. All right. Know where we stand. Here we go.
Yeah, I love it, man. It's amazing. It's always good stuff.
So in my research, I found out you're addicted to escape rooms.
Dude. I mean,
That's
my
your shit?
fiance and I, yeah, I love, bro. We love it. It's
I've
just
never
like,
done it.
dude, I tell you, like, if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you're not. They're fun no matter what. But if you go to like a good escape room that's been built well, like not something that like Jim built in his basement, you know, like you're literally trying to escape and not get killed. So you know, like
this is my swinger studio. Like, come on in.
Yes, you have to escape. So no, we love it, dude. Everywhere we travel, we'll do a couple when we travel. And we've found some of the legitimate most fun places you can go to, man. So it's just a blast.
As soon as I saw that, I was like, man, because I've seen some when I traveled, and I was like, I'm not doing that dumb shit. But now I kind of want to do it.
It's fun.
Then I started thinking about this whole PTSD thing or post-traumatic stress, because people get, now if you put the D on it, people are like, no, there's no fucking D. There's fucking D. Like, so, but now I'm like, you know what? I've been living in an escape room with my diagnosis for like 12, 13 years. And it's crazy. Yeah. And it was like, so it would be nice to actually go to a real one and get to escape this escape room.
Yeah, it's a blast, bro, because if you go in there with like, we like to do just both of us, but you go in there with like 4 people that just enjoy the processes, it's a blast, man, because you want to talk about the ultimate satisfaction. Like, you get to figure out puzzles and solve them and get to another place. And if you get out of this, man, like I think that's what it is. It's a rush, dude. It's just this huge rush that like you solved all these puzzles and made it out of this room and you're like, this is amazing. So it's a blast, man.
Is it like the Saw? Like, do you get like shackled to the wall and all that, and you ever feel like you're going to die?
Yeah, and then they stab you after
one. You get a couple prison pokes.
Yeah.
Don't fuck around in escape rooms in the Panhandle.
Yeah, I won't be. There's actually, so I talked to a friend or someone we met who had done them in Europe, and they said the ones in Europe and other countries are different. Like, here, it's a safe place. Like, you can leave at any time if you don't like something's happening. Like, there in these certain areas, it's like you're locked in. You don't leave until you figure it out. It's like,
I hope you got snacks.
Yeah, I don't know, man. End up in hospital real fast.
Yeah, I want to check that out, man. I want to. So back on the Fire Department Chronicles, I didn't mean to get sidelined, man. How do you prepare for that? Does sometimes I know that sometimes you need to write a script or you really put some thought, but sometimes I'm sure things just come to you. And do you have your gear on hand to where, hey, if we need to film something, we need to go ahead and get this while it's hot?
90% of my stuff is on my phone. I'd say lately I've gotten more towards like higher production microphones and stuff like that, just because when I film certain things, it's gotta, you know, look good, especially like the reaction videos and stuff. They all have to be mic'd up appropriately. So, yeah, it's most of the time it's just my phone. So, and I mean, TikTok has been a blessing for me for just being able to put random content out and see how it does. So that's been a blast. So,
well, how do you, are you self-taught with all the technology stuff?
Yeah.
How much of a pain in the ass was that? I can't even edit a photo.
It's been fun. I mean, my brother Colby, he's been instrumental in just teaching me certain things. Like if I get stuck, I can call him, he'll help me. Or my buddy Bryce, he owns a film company. He's been good as well. But man, most of the stuff, it's Googling or Yahoo, or I'm sorry, YouTube, stuff like that. Just trying to figure it out as I go.
Yahoo in it. Well, Yahoo.
Yeah, Yahoo in it. Yeah, didn't hear it.
I wanted to ask you, man, but I think I know the answer to it, because you seem to be on a lot. Like this is who you are. It's not a fucking character. Because I'm gonna tell you what I get, and I don't know if you get this a lot when you meet people. Are they expecting you to be that guy? Because when people find out I'm a stand-up comedian, first thing they want, they're like, tell me a joke.
I hate that.
And I'm like, it doesn't fucking work like that. I'm like, what do you do for a living? They're like, I sell insurance. I'm like, give me a fucking policy. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, exactly. Like, do you get that a lot?
This is who I am. Like, I'm, like you said, I'm just constantly like, the only difference between me on camera and me in person is my jokes tend to be a little more crude, just because that's what I find. I like fart jokes in person are funnier.
Put
that
the
kind of
camera
thing.
down. I'll tell you a better one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and I know what firefighters find funny, firefighters, first responders, all this stuff. So, no, this is me all the time, dude. I love talking to people. Like, I just think it's getting to know people is probably one of the best parts of all this stuff. Even though every firefighter conversation I ever have always goes the same way. Hey, how are you? Cool. Where do you work? Awesome. What's your schedule? It's 40, blah, blah, blah. What's your pension look like? Oh, this is what I got. All right, cool. And then move on to something else. Like, it's always like that. Just firefighters for some reason. That's what we talk about every single time.
It.
So, yeah.
I don't like to name drop, but I have to just for this scenario. So Danny McBride, you know who Danny McBride is?
Sounds familiar.
So he's the guy from Eastbound and Down.
Okay.
All right. And vice principals and all that. So he lives in Charleston. He works out at the gym, or used to at the gym that I go to. And I'd see him in there, and I'd always leave people alone, but I would always see it happen to him. Somebody would recognize him and walk up and go, Kenny fucking Powers. And because that goes on in the show, and you can tell it was annoying to him, but he was always such a gentleman about it. He's like, how's it going, man? Like, and I know that had to bother him. Like,
I think what happens, because people will say, like, if I go to FDIC, I'm a good amount of people know the show and stuff and everything. So, I take a bunch of pictures and stuff like that. And people are like, does it ever get annoying? I'm like, no, it never gets annoying, bro. Because you know what? One day it's not going to exist. Like one day I'll no longer be relevant. And I will look back and go, man, that was a lot of fun. So, and I think people I get it. Like, if it's one thing all the time, then I would imagine it gets a little annoying, that kind of thing. But nah, man, I love it, bro. I think it's amazing. I'm blessed, bro, that anyone even gives a shit about what I'm doing. So it's awesome.
You said it, man. You have variety, right? So people could come up and joke with you about all kinds of stuff. Could you imagine being JJ Walker and just having dynamite? Because I work with him on the road, and that's what people would come up and they'd be like, dynamite. And he's like, oh, fuck with this already.
You know what? But dude, like, then find something else. Like, that's it. Like, yeah, that's what's cool, man. Because people come up to me and they'll be like, dude, that Wildland video, amazing, bro. I'll be like, thanks, man. And then another guy will be like, dude, the Narcan video was awesome. I appreciate it. So you find variety. And, I joke, besides this podcast, this was the other podcast I wanted to be on. The only other podcast that I want to be on one day is Joe Rogan. If I ever make it on Joe Rogan, I know I made it. That's the one.
I think you're well on your way, man. I think you'll be there before you know. Dude, you were just mentioning episodes, and I have two written down that I absolutely love, man. One is the worst thing you've ever seen video, because I talk about that in my podcast. I talk about people wanting to live vicariously through us because they don't want to do the shit we do and see the shit we see, but they want to know about it, and it's fucking annoying. And you're just like, I don't know how to put goddamn shit. I'm dropping the ball. Talking about on the shoulders. The tourniquet. Yeah. I don't know. Can't put the tourniquet. He doesn't have an arm. Put it on the shoulders. And I was dying laughing at that because it was just it hits the nail on the head. I get that all the time. What's the worst thing you ever seen? And I just want to be like, fuck, I need to punch you.
Yeah. Because you know what I think it is? It's innocence and people trying to find common ground. So it's exactly what it is. They don't know what to ask you. Like, what do you do for a living? You're a firefighter? Oh, cool. Like, what's the next question there in the firefighter realm? Like, what's the biggest fire you've had? Like, what's the worst thing you've seen? Yeah, it's coming. So, I take it as innocence. I just joke with people about it. And that's, people say that all the time. They're like, don't ask me because I don't want to relive it. I'm like, dude, I get it. Because some people have seen shit well beyond what they should have seen, so I get it, man.
And the other one that I saw was, you actually put this one up recently, was the fake firefighters on Facebook. Bro, that was real.
That people did that.
I was like, stolen valor of fire. I didn't know there was stolen valor in the fire department. I was like, that's it. Fucking Luan Door, bro.
I mean, I was watching that going, why? I'm about to put another one up. I just got to finish the editing of it. It looks like a town, like a country. It's in a different country, but It looks like they're doing a demonstration to show like their firefighting force. And it's cool. I love what they're doing. They're showing local town folks. But I don't think they prepared appropriately, because what they set on fire was 100% hay. And when they set it on fire, this thing is up and destroyed before they even deploy the hose. And I mean, like, I'm like, shit. And the title of it was a demonstration to quickly and efficiently extinguish a fire. I'm like,
that's funny.
Bro, it's so good, because literally by the time they're spraying water, it is just a frame. It's just a frame, and they're just.
I can't wait to see it. When are you putting that one out?
Hopefully the next couple of days. Yeah,
that's great.
There we go.
Yeah, but when I saw the fake firefighters, and it looked like he was wearing skinny jean bunker gear.
Oh my god, with the big hole in the crotch, like
the axe, just everything about it. If you're listening to this podcast or watching, if you haven't seen fake firefighters, you got to check it out. It'll have you rolling history. This door is so flimsy. Like, why didn't he just stick his hand through and unlock it?
You know,
or kick it off the hinges, because it's this thin.
I know. I know what happened. It's Facebook, and they're trying. Facebook won't allow you to get any advertising dollars unless the video is over 3 minutes. So if you look at the video, it's 3 minutes and 1 second. So they got to knock the door down. Yeah, drag it out. That dude is the guy. I couldn't even point out. There's just so much ridiculousness going on. But the guy runs around the corner and screams down the hallway. The door's that way. Like, it was just so
dude
bad,
was taking a break by the door.
Oh my god,
it was great.
Yeah, that's right. He like knelt and then got back up and came back around. I was like,
they were both company officers. They had no crew. They were just both officers.
Just two officers hanging
Too many
out,
chiefs,
man.
not enough Indians, baby.
Yeah, it was so bad, dude. Yeah.
All right, before we go, man, I gotta hit this fire department coffee. It's on your shirt. It's on your jacket. I love I saw something about the anti-murder button.
Yes.
Turning the coffee pot on, and you said the stronger it tastes, the better it is. And that made me laugh because my coffee, literally, like at a firehouse, I would put almost the whole can in there and just put in the water portion. I would just put Proby tears, right?
Yes.
And then it's just like that much tears. And I'm just like drinking like fucking diesel fuel.
That's the way it should be. We had a Proby this morning make coffee, and like it was so thin. And I was like, so disappointed in you. No,
you're not going to have a good career here.
No, yeah, dude, Fire Department Coffee, we established in 2016, man. It's been really fun. Myself, Luke Schneider, the CEO, we're both active duty firefighters, as well as our chief operating officer, all the fun stuff. We're based up in Rockford, Illinois. 10% of all of our net proceeds go back to helping sick and injured first responders. So find guys and girls that need help, man, especially with the mental health thing. What we're doing is benevolent funds, or anyone can reach out and ask for funds. We choose 2 people per month. Especially with benevolent funds, because we love the benevolent funds are normally the best people that know who's hurting the most within their crews. So, if a guy needs a flight down to Florida to go to a mental health facility, then they'll pay for it. We give them cash, they pay for it, and we're good to go. So it's a blast, man. But if you go on firedepartmentcoffee.com, if you use FR15, you get 15% off.
That's awesome, man. That's good work that you guys are doing, man. I'm gonna have to
appreciate it.
And you're going to have a booth at Indy, right? You're going to have some coffee with you.
Yeah, FDIC will be up there. We're gonna have full booth. We're gonna have full crew. We're giving away nitro samples, so we're gonna have some good nitro.
Everybody's gonna be
awesome.
hopped up.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be jacked up. Come say what's up. We're giving away free stickers and all this fun stuff too. So stop by.
Well, dude, you know what I like about you, man? It's like you don't just talk about it; you are about it, and you're also a mental health advocate with Banyan Treatment Centers. Correct? You want to talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, no. So Banyan Treatment Centers, man, I would, with the videos, people would reach out. They'd say like, yo, this really helps me with my mental health. I'm like, that's awesome. And then they would say, I can laugh, but hey, I need to go somewhere. Like, where can I go? And I'm like, I don't know where you can go and get good treatment, because everyone kind of comes out and they're like, we help first responders, and they don't really do anything. So I started working with Banyan Treatment Centers, and what we did is we found treatment modalities that work specifically with first responders. But what I loved about them was that when you walk in, they're not like, you're a first responder. Immediately, first responder track. That's all. What was your worst call? Like, why are you like this? Was it because of a call? They look at the whole picture, because a lot of people create their PTSD or their PTS or any of their major issues prior to even becoming a first responder. So they dig from the bottom and then come up. But the best part about it is that Banyan is huge, 14 facilities across the United States, and the team, the network that I have. If you don't want to go to Banyan, then I can find you a place that you like better. So you know, which Bannion's incredible, but sometimes they want to go to another state that we're not in, so I can help them find that. So just here for everything.
Man, that's phenomenal, dude. And it's like the outreach that you get, man, because every once in a while I get messages and people just don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know what's available. And there's actually a ton of shit, a ton of resources out there available to these men and women, but they have no clue.
Yep.
And so it's all about spreading the word, man, and getting it out there. So thank you for doing that too. And
thank you, bro.
So we'll be seeing each other at FDIC, man. Are there any other plugs that you want to put out there that you know?
No, man. Yeah, just FDIC will be there through the whole week. Come check it out. If you ever need help with mental health, you can reach out to me on my DM me on any of the places, or call 888-926-4174. That's 888-926-4174, and I can help you that way as well. So appreciate it, man.
What other? I got two more things. You got any upcoming projects you're working on that you're not telling anybody about, or you'd like to?
I got a couple things, man. I'm shooting a video for the CDC about community paramedicine tomorrow. That's going to be fun. Going to be talking about helping people. I'm getting ready to film a docu-series with a team out of New York. Guy used to be a New York firefighter. It's going to be fun. I'm going to show the background of what it's like being a firefighter. And then I am working on a full-fledged game show that is going to be fun for everyone to watch. So it's going to be good.
You're a busy man, Jason. I love it, dude.
Appreciate it, dude.
That's great, man. It keeps you out of trouble, man, too.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Keeps that darkness out, too. I tell people, I'm like, find a hobby, find something to do.
Yes.
Keep your mind preoccupied. Last but not least, man, I don't like when I get this question because it's kind of on the spot. And I mean, you can take it so many different directions, but how about any advice for the youngsters that are listening that want to come into this career and those that are transitioning out of this career? What do you have any advice for them?
It actually goes both ways, man, for both those people. Find balance, dude. Find something outside of being a firefighter, right? Like firefighter, paramedics, police officers, military, everything, man. Like when we do this is who we are, period, right? We get into it. Everything about us is seated in who we are because we want to save lives. But eventually, you will have to do something else. Number one reason, or one of the biggest reasons why firefighters and first responders kill themselves is retirement. So find something different, man. Like, become a golfing person. Like, the gym can only help so much, but find something outside of what you're doing here. Find balance. So when you do have to leave at some point in time, then you will be a fully fledged human and not just a first responder.
I tell folks that all the time, man, and you couldn't have been more accurate. Don't let this job define you. There's life outside of this job. And unfortunately for me, my career ended because of injury and I didn't know what to do. I didn't see it coming. It just, bam, lights out. You're off the job now. And it's like, well, what do I do now? And that was one of the biggest struggles of my life, was trying to find that purpose again. So you hit the nail on the head. You start committing your life to something outside of just this job, and you'll be well on your way.
Oh yeah.
Jason Patton, Fire Department Chronicles, Fire Department Coffee. You guys check him out. Dude, I can't thank you enough for being on the show.
Appreciate it, brother.
Looking forward to shaking hands, seeing you up at FDIC and sharing some laughs, brother.
Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to it, brother.
All right, my man. Take care.
All right, you too.